Curtis on his time, breaking down the stories every view will unwind. From left to right we'll see the light. It's balance we're chasing, no fighters fight. Curtis still be talking straight. Let's hear both sides, let's communicate. Politics and reason, let's find the truth. Curtis Selby's here to bridge it for you. Debates, insights, it's all on the screen. Curtis Selby keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, let's dive in deep with Curtis Selby. The combos you need. The combos you need. Insights, it's all on the screen. Curtis Selby keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, let's dive in deep with Curtis Selby. The convo's unique. Curtis Selby talking it straight. Let's hear both sides, let's communicate. Politics and reason, let's find the truth. Curtis Selby's here to bridge it for you. Debates, insights, it's all on the screen. Curtis Selby keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, let's dive in deep with Curtis Selby. The combos you need. The combos you need. The combos you need.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your tired midnight blogger, what blogs in this case at 5:03 p.m., wishing that I had the money and maybe some of the benefits of Elon Musk. Today work got out early, so I decided to do an impromptu stream. I'm going to keep it short, but I wanted to do a little more talking about Elon Musk, Doge, and maybe a little bit of talking about the cabinet process. Not necessarily the cabinet picks per se, but the process whereby we approve the cabinet members, because I think there's a lot of people a little bit confused about how it goes on. There we go. I'm going to stop the music. So, you did not, in fact, black out Gorilla Censored Thoughts. I'm just being a very silly person and doing an impromptu stream. I intend for this to be done definitely by 7, possibly by 6. Connie Cleary has a watch party going on, and I wanted to be in on that. I would leave a link to it, but I don't know if she wants me leaving links to it. But by all means, if anyone wants to do a watch party and doesn't have one planning, reach out to Connie Cleary, because she has one going on today. So, hail Jeff B. and Kaplaw to thee. I hope you were doing well today. Like I say, work let out a little bit early. Frankly, we didn't hardly do anything because everyone was worried about the ice, and I'm okay with that. It gave me a little bit of time and energy to possibly do a stream. So I don't want to get too deep into the details, but one of my friends sent me a text today, and very kind, very supportive text, but he wanted to be sure that I understood something, because he was gracious enough. He didn't want me to misquote anything that's going on. Now, Gorillas and I talked a little bit about this. In fact, we talked quite a bit about Doge, but we also talked a little bit about I'm having a senior moment, not the controversy, but the criticism that Elon may not have really understood what was going on with the Social Security program. There's a COBOL program that essentially vastly increases the age of some people. I definitely wanted to set that straight, make sure that everyone understands that possible criticism. I still myself feel that the fraud that we're finding far outweighs any mistakes or miscommunications that Musk has had. But in the interest of, trying to inform you guys and also of trying to be objective, I thought I would go ahead and share it. I'm feeling better than I did yesterday, Jeff. I still have a little bit of a headache, but only just barely enough to be worth whining about. And I am being a little bit whiny about it. It's nowhere near as bad as yesterday. While I still don't exactly feel like a fit and trim 20-year-old and what have you, I do feel profoundly better than I did yesterday. So thank you very much for asking and remembering that I didn't really feel that great yesterday. Hail to thee, Connie Cleary. And as I have said, I'm going to try to get this thing done before 7, maybe even before 6. I don't really want to talk for very long, but I just wanted to get this out here. Again, in the interests of objectivity, and also it's unfair of me to complain about journalists saying a bunch of lies if I just allow something to go without at least bringing it up. So let me get this on the a screen. I miss Johnny Carson so bad. Just saying. But yeah, and I didn't leave a link because I don't know if you want me to, Connie. If you want to leave a link to your watch party, please feel free to do that. But I also understand you may just want to keep it amongst friends. I'm absolutely cool either way. Use your wrench at thy discretion. So this was the source that I was looking at. There we go. Huzzah! So anybody who just doesn't have anything cool to do, Connie has a wonderful community, wonderful group of movie watchers. I've seen so many fun movies there. Plus, she has an amazing channel of her own, as does Gorillas. So, but anyway, I wanted to keep this short. So this is the PolitiFact that I was referencing yesterday, but I did kind of make it a brief thing. I'll go ahead and share this. I didn't want to share the fact checking of Snopes because, frankly, Snopes kind of pisses me off. But also, I think this article is a bit more balanced. It does provide the information of possibly Elon Musk was confused, but at the same time, there's definitely things. I mean, Elon Musk, let's just say he's not discredited. I would suggest he's not even close to discredited. Again, just in the interest of transparency and fairness, I'm just bringing this out. So, are 150-year-old Americans receiving Social Security checks, as Elon Musk said? Well, hey, my Stream Elements is doing something besides just showing. Learn how to customize the bot here. All right, it's self-promoting now. Okay, PolitiFact. If your time is short, government oversight agencies have warned for years that Social Security should do more to improve its accuracy rate and curb improper payments. Audits, according to PolitiFact, show that fewer than 1% of Social Security payments are improperly made, but because the program is so big, even that tiny fraction means large dollar amounts are spent improperly. And the explanation for 150-year-olds receiving checks could relate to arcane coding practices. I think I read a little bit of this yesterday, but let me skip down. Government databases may code someone as 150 years old for reasons peculiar to the large and complex Social Security database. Improper payments are a long-standing concern for the agency, though they represent a small share of all payments. They gripe that the White House didn't provide the additional information, and maybe that's a legit gripe. Maybe it's not. You be the judge. So we talked about how the antiquated system that Social Security uses it's established by a coding language called COBOL. I don't know that language, but I'm somewhat familiar with the concept. I've talked to a few techs about it, often with epithets included. So PolitiFact puts it this way: under an international standard called ISO 8601, a missing value for a date is coded as May 20 of 1875 because that was the date of an international standard setting conference held in Paris known as the Convention du Matière. I'm probably butchering that. For that reason, under some coding systems, including COBOL, the missing value for a date defaults to 1875, which by now produces a round figure of 150 years old. Some people, particularly some immigrants, really don't know their exact birthday. There would have to be some alternative means of verification, said C. Eugene Stuerl. That's an interesting name. A fellow at the Urban Institute, a think tank, where they think. I need to get a job at a think tank. Where do I get a job? I could probably apply to USAID. Oh, crap. Yeah, that's all right out. I knew I should have become a grant writer before I did. Anyway, that's a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Treasury Department during the Reagan administration. So essentially, this was a program, if I'm understanding this article correctly, set up way back in the 80s, ancient, antiquated software, and it will tell us that people are 150 years old. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting checks, although I hope that us Trump voters can be forgiven for thinking, well, hell, if your database says they're 150, how do I know they're not getting a check? Some records may have missing codes. Others may have conflicting information on the age or date of birth. So the staff would have created queries to determine which fields are actually used. According to J. Michael Collins, not the astronaut, a University of Wisconsin professor of public affairs. Let me get caught up in the chat here. Ooh, lots of chatting going on. Ooh, hey, Whiskey Flats, Garden Railroad. Woohoo! Please drive safe. I'm glad that you're here, but please drive safe. And hello there, Alt World Sorcerer Dan. Thank you for the subscription. This is my latest sub right here. God bless you, sir. I know we probably don't see eye to eye on a lot of politics, but hopefully that's the part of the point of the channel is opening a dialogue. Gorilla Sensor Thought makes a good point here. If that system is that screwed up that it puts millions above 120, they should get rid of it. It's something to think about. It sure as hell is. I do not know what WFGR stands for. And Connie Cleary, like I say, has a 7 p.m. Central movie, and I really want to be done with this by, at the very, very latest by then, because I want to see that movie. People saying hi to each other. Gorillas, I'm going to have to yell at Dollar General. They're getting rid of my pop. What? To heck with this Doge stuff. Riots. Let's get our pitchforks. We shall take out Dollar General. And YouTube will probably ding me for that. You're threatening people. It's a joke, YouTube. It's a joke. I'm too tired to threaten anybody right now. Gorilla Sensor Thought, problem with these fact checks, they change. Okay, this is something I was talking with Whiskey Flats about today. They change slight details on what is claimed, and then they rate it as false. But then, ironically, they go on to confirm what is claimed, which is, it's one of the reasons why I chose this PolitiFact article, because yeah, it's guilty of doing that, but I would rather have that as the point blank, oh, it's just totally false because he doesn't understand COBOL. It's totally false. Well, no, it's not totally false. But frankly, we don't know. We have no clue if Elon Musk knows about the COBOL situation or not. I think that someone that's brilliant enough to have a rocket company and a boring company, which if you don't know about that, you need to look into that. We may look into that if we have time. And puts people in space and, you know, makes chips in people's brains that can manipulate mechanical hands and play video games. Even if he's not brilliant enough to figure that out, I would suspect that someone who works for him caught that. Now, maybe it's disingenuous that he brings it up, but I would suspect that he's bringing it up because there's just enough of the simple human being in Elon Musk that I think he understands that you and I look at that and we call BS. We see that and we're like, this is the wealthiest nation that's ever existed with the most powerful government that's ever existed. And you're saying we can't get a database that actually gets it right. And I do know this was all talked about 3 years ago, and they assured us that it would cost more money than it was worth to fix it. I don't know that I trust that information. First off, I don't know what the source of that information is. Second of all, I really don't have any faith in the Biden administration almost at all. I mean, I don't want to be too negative. He did some things right, and I don't want to demonize him. But at the same time, a lot of things were just simply blown off. So it doesn't increase my faith to know that they announced this 3 years ago. The sheer scope of the agency's payments is over $1 trillion a year. So even a tiny fraction adds up quickly. I don't know if they do this, but 1/10 of 1% of this is going to be $1 billion. That's right, $1 billion. So between fiscal years 2015 and 2022, which does include Trump's first presidency, the Social Security Administration sent almost $71.8 billion out in improper payments, which, again, It sounds like a huge number. I think that's a huge number. I think it's huge enough we need to do something about it. But to put it into perspective, if I'm doing the math right, that's like 0.718 of a percent. So it depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at it percentage wise, they've actually done a really good job of keeping fraud down, the Inspector General here. If you're looking at it in raw amounts of money, I could sure do a lot with $71.8 billion. I'm just putting that out there. I think this is important also to look at. A November 2021 Inspector General's report, who is not named Danny Kaye, unfortunately, found that $298 million in payments after the death of the recipient was paid out to 24,000 beneficiaries that year, and 84 million of that was returned, meaning that over 200 million, which I don't know why they don't think that they need to include that. I would say they do need to, which brings it up to 2.718%, which is a lot. I mean, it's still a low percentage, but it's enough that if I'm looking at it, and this is my responsibility, we're going to get that goddamn number down yesterday. I'm just saying. But $200 million, roughly, very roughly, was paid out to people after they were dead, meaning it was no longer owed to them, and the government didn't recoup any of that. Now, the Social Security Advisory Board, a group of outside experts, and I'm sure that they are, because as we all know, the government would never have people that are in bed with the government advising anything like this. It's regularly issued bipartisan recommendations to improve the agency's accuracy records for payments, such as shifting death data collection to the Treasury Department. Collins said that the incorrect birth dates or unnoticed deaths may not represent the biggest fraction of overpayments. That intrigues me. Other reasons may be that the system is not caught up with the life developments that prevent a former beneficiary from receiving payments, such as being incarcerated. So it is possible some of our Social Security money is going to people in prison. He said it, I didn't. All right, let's get caught up in the chat. Please check out Sci-Fi Mommy's channel. And Sorcerer Dan, someday if medical tech keeps advancing and finds a way to increase the lifespan to 150 years, and we might have people that live that long and want Social Security, then what? Do we reform the Social Security system? It's a great question. I don't know that I have the answer, but I read a science fiction book recently. The whole premise was the scientists discovered a way to do that, and the government was intent on assassinating him because they didn't want to be making all those payments. I do think that probably we would have to revisit the retirement age, but also something else we have to consider, and I'm sure you already have, but when we increase our lifespan to 150 years, how long are we increasing our youth span by? And I know that's not the technical term, but because if I'm able to stay young till I'm 100, then I don't mind working till I'm 100. But if I'm already burnt out at age 60, frankly, I don't want another 90 years. I really don't. But again, I know you've already considered that as well. It's just a question to ask. 150. Wonder if the vampires are sparkly. Not only are they sparkly, but the werewolves are all in love with your fetus children. All righty. Gorilla Censor Thoughts, it's all Trump's fault. They got rid of my pop. I agree. Impeach Trump. He got rid of Gorilla's pop. It's his fault. I changed my mind. In fact, let's bring back Kamala. Let's bring them all back. RFK Jr. may nix your pop, Gorilla, for having too much sugar. I can't really do a good impersonation of RFK. But let's try. You have to understand. I'm not saying that you can't buy pop. I'm just saying that we shouldn't put nasty, horrible chemicals in your pop. Yeah, see, it's not as fun as Trump. Jeff B. more like a yellow 5 or red 3. Enigma Severus, hail and well met, and another wonderful channel that you need to check out. He made a fan video thing recently. I'm just tired enough not to describe it very well, but it was really, really cool. It had some scenes from Ready Player One, which I still need to see and read. But Enigma is choosing Tulsi, not Tulsa, because she is my future wife that never shall be. I hear you. Jeff B. just finished a can of Squirt soda. Certain it has yellow dye and is probably going to be in infinite age. People saying hi. People saying hi. Please check out Sci-Fi Mombi. And people saying hello. Enigma Severus, no one will be living beyond 130 years ever. Well, I don't know. I have no idea. Did I get replaced? What happened? Whiskey Flats Garden Railroad take care of the penny, and the dollar takes care of itself. See, you should be upset, Whiskey, because he got rid of the penny, and we can't take care of the penny if we've gotten rid of the penny. So the dollar can't take care of itself. So we should be entrusting it to Klaus Schwab. It is great honor to be speaking to President Trump, though he disagrees with my rapacious globalist agenda. You will eat the bugs, you will own nothing, and you will be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Curtis got replaced. Shan't, can't, won't. I don't want to be mean, but shan't, or as Michael Scott would say, short. Right on. All right. Let's finish this article. Why the problem is so hard to fix. As a percentage of all payments, improper payments account for 0.84% of the total. I must be bad at math because I got something more like 2%, but whatever. It is something under 3%. So, Danny Kaye, the Inspector General, and also the King of Jesters and Jester to the King, otherwise known as Magnifico Giganticus. You wouldn't know who that is unless you'd played D&D with me. Anyway, that's better than any private insurance company in the nation, said Henry J. Aaron, a fellow with the Brookings Institution think tank. It's another think tank, and a former chair of the Social Security Advisory Board. That's right. When I looked at my own books, I found that I had done a better job than any private insurance company in the nation. I am so proud of myself. I'm probably being unfair to him, but anyway, also he counts the low cost of administration. Here's the trouble with that. I'm going to invoke the spirit of Rush Limbaugh for just a second. In fact, I'm going to summon the spirit of Rush Limbaugh. Boom, boom, ba-da, boom, boom, ba-boom, ba-da, boom, 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 ba-da, boom, boom, down, 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 down. It is I, Rush Limbaugh, lovable fuzzball with talent on loan from God. I am here to explain why the conservatives don't believe that the Social Security Administration is well run. This reasoning is that if you were to put the amount of money that you put in there, which has been proven to be $100 gajillion, and you put it in the bank at 5% interest, you would come out of it richer than Elon Musk. And instead, you get this tiny, trivial amount that will be just enough to keep you fed if you're eating cat food for the rest of your life. Thank you, Rush Limbaugh. That was beautiful. Now go back to being dead. Thank you. Good job. Good job. That was fun. I don't know. You guys may not have liked it, but I was very entertained. As is often the case with complex systems, solving the last remaining fraction of technical problems can prove to be the most difficult. The costs of having a perfect 0% error rate would actually be quite high and would increase administrative costs, Collins said. And I'm sure that that's true. Adding to the challenges of the Social Security Administration has had trouble securing funding and high-quality talent for years. I take a little bit of umbrage about the securing fundage, but I don't doubt that they have trouble finding high-quality talent. I don't doubt that. If one is concerned about administration at Social Security, and there is cause for concern, it's because the SSA staff has been cut for years, even as workloads have increased. The backlog on disability insurance claims has grown, and I don't doubt there's some truth to that too. The agency's complicated databases need top flight specialists to fix and upgrade, but the government pay scale isn't high enough to attract the best the information technology sector has to offer. Now, I hope I don't even need to point this out, but we now have top flight specialists that the government's not even paying for. Is anybody putting that into their thinking caps? There are people now I have a decent IQ. There's people there that have 30 to 50 points higher than me who are running the show. So maybe instead of complaining and saying, "Oh, he's unelected," maybe instead somebody just send him a tweet. Hey, this is the situation. This is what PolitiFact says. Why don't you turn your techs loose on it and get us a top flight system? I don't doubt he'd do it. He's so giddy right now. He's as happy as a puppy with a bone. You know, like, I'm finding fraud. I mean, it's just a thought. It's just a suggestion. For many years, SSI wasn't even allowed to buy the best software. Outsiders are brought in for a price, but they generally aren't personally committed for more than a short time. Another challenge is a quirk in how the agency's finances are structured. $1 spent on fixing the improper payment problem could pay for itself with $10 in saved funds, said Jeffrey R. Brown, a professor of finance at the University of Illinois. For a private sector company, those savings would be easy to see in the bottom line. Not so for Social Security. Whose fault is that? I'm not suggesting it's Jeffrey Brown's. He's just stating what's probably a fact, but even if it's not a fact, it's a reasonable guess. To secure that first dollar to invest in technical fixes, the agency needs to lobby Congress, which is never easy, which is why we have all these USAID things going on. But anyway, lobbying Congress is never easy. unless you're a big corporation. Maybe they should just pay. Maybe just Social Security should start budgeting money. All these dead people that are over 150, just take their money, lobby Congress with it. What do you guys think? Anyway, this could result in offsetting cuts to other parts of the agency. Then if the agency does get that dollar and ends up saving $10 in payments, those proceeds would remain in the Social Security Trust Fund, which don't help Congress' own fiscal balance sheet unless, they steal the money and pay for other things. But we all know that's not going on. That's not going on. We know that. And it also doesn't help the agency's own administrative budget, because that is what is really important. Grandma can eat cat food, but by God, the administrators had better be getting 6-figure salaries plus. All right. So there is that article, at least a portion of what I wanted to talk to about that topic. Hey, Gorilla sent me something on X. Let me see what he sent me. Ooh, he sent me a video. I don't know if you could hear that. That was Dr. Evil. $100 billion. Source for data medical tech is able to extend the youth genes to life longer to say 100, then people wouldn't mind working more. Yeah, and that's my deal. I wouldn't mind them increasing the Social Security age as long as my quality of life is improving. If it's not improving, then I feel kind of gypped. Just saying. Sorcerer Dan, if not, that would suck. The economy would need to be massively overhauled. Massively. Right on. Jeff B., I'm afraid I do too. I know that I'm revealing my stripes, but I wish I could do James Earl Jones, and I miss him. Rest in peace. This is the EIB network. I'll bet I can find that online, but I'd probably get a copyright strike, so never mind. Sorcerer Dan, some get a cross, put it in front of Curtis, and say, repent. He would either burst into flames or be sent to hell directly. The devil and ex-wife would then say, party time, honey. I should put that in the novel I want to write. And speaking of novels, Charlotte Nightstar, the werewolf. She has finished her first novel, at least the rough draft, and is editing it probably as we speak. She's also being very naughty here. Very naughty. It's very naughty you're being, Charlotte. Very naughty. Charlotte says she might have Elon's baby one of these days. Interesting. He's paying women to do it, as well as having them live on a compound in Texas. See, this is why he's brilliant. People are all saying he's stupid. Oh, this is brilliant. Just pay women and have them live on a compound. It's true romance. Gorilla Sensor thought it is short enough not to be picked up by bots. Well, you know what? We can do this. We can do it. We can do it all night long. YouTube. Dr. Evil, $100 million. I so need to find a way to make that like some kind of something for me. Come on. Oh, of course it's muted.
In a little while, you'll know noticed that the Krepnakistani warhead has gone missing. If you want it back, you're going to have to pay me $1 million.
Oh, wait, this is not the 100. Oh, here it is. 100 billion.
The President of the United States of America.
He's on. What do you want, Dr. Evil?
Mr. President, in 12 hours, I will destroy Washington, D.C. with this giant laser.
Dun, dun, dun.
In room, for God's sake. Okay, honest to God. Sir. Okay, honest to God. Why don't you and the giant laser get a frickin' room, for God's sake?
Okay, anyway, $100 billion. What was the other thing I was wanting to play for you guys? I can't remember now. I'm finally losing my mind. It's probably downloadable somewhere. I am bald, and now I have stripes. You got it. Curtis is hiding a lot. Indeed. Charlotte is alive. She's alive. Ooh, oh, wow, gorillas. Ooh, I don't know what to do with that. I'm not even going to say that. I'm afraid that the gods will strike me down. Charlotte, all the children can see each other, and the baby mama's having a grand old time, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Jeff B, is Amber Heard's little one a Musk or a Depp? I have no idea. I have no idea at all. Charlotte Nightstar, you need to see this new movie. Yes, I need to see it too. Load the clip, not YouTube video. Download the clip. Well, I don't know where to download the clip, but when I figure it out, I will. Enigma Severus, I've heard it's good. Check it out for sure. Gorilla Sensor Thoughts, you will be paying for the other kid too. Once get into an ending fight with her, she would sue you for child support. Haha, gorillas. And hail, Fletcher Williams, I suck at games. Thank you very much. Yes, please smash the like button and make sure that you are subscribed. I am only 8 subs away from 700 subs. And I believe as of this morning, I was 181 watch hours away. So right click and save as. I should have thought of that. I can think. I try to think and nothing happens. All right. That's going to drive me crazy really fast. Okay. $100 billion. We got it. We got it. All right. Now, StreamYard still open? Yes. Will she sue for $100 billion? I think so. What time is it? Let's go through one more thing that I had to share. The friend of mine who had suggested that I look this up also introduced me to a new conservative pundit who I had not known. This is Trish Reagan. And while she did bring up the criticism, and I need to do some more research into her before I know, what she really stands for, I think she might agree with us because she had this to say. And of course, it's muted.
Ways to cut.
Okay.
These are Doge employees when they find out there's more government ways to cut.
There it is. Legitimate Doge employees. going
These are
after
Doge employees when they find out.
fraud, waste, and expenses that we don't need. Charlotte Nightstar, not me. And Enigma Everest, I had a comment about the baby making subject, but I can be respectful. Yeah, we got to be careful about these whole baby making subjects. Too much. And so I'm going to make this a fairly short stream. So I'm going to go ahead and go straight to, well, no, I need to at least do a little bit with the topic of how cabinet members are confirmed. Gorilla Sensor Thought, judging by your record with women and children, you must be like paying child support. Enigma Severus doesn't have kids, got to be married first. See, you got it all backwards. Like me, you're doing like I did. You're doing it backward. See, wanting to get married and then have the kid? No. We've learned the best way, have the kid and then get married and then have a really ugly divorce and end up lonely and alone on the streets. I did it backward. I married the woman and then I got her pregnant afterwards. So my mother-in-law let me know that I was bad. And so for those of you out there who don't know, don't get your wives pregnant because it means you're bad. Charlotte, you don't have to marry. You don't even have to love her. Wow. Nods. Okay, so let us look up something about... I kind of wanted to play this for you guys, but I don't really want to keep it going for that long. I'm going to bookmark this one so I can go back to it. And how are cabinet members confirmed? Not necessarily chosen, but how are they confirmed? So, throw me a brick and bone. This is the confirmation process for Donald Trump's cabinet. People.com. That's a source I trust. CNN, I've pretty much lost trust for them. Who's been confirmed for Trump's cabinet, who hasn't? The Senate GOP moves with record speed. Oh, sorry. The Trump cabinet pit gets a rare GOP grilling. I do declare Senator Kennedy has changed his position on offshore drilling. Sorry, it came about because I had summoned the spirit of Rush Limbaugh. Please forgive me. How many cabinet members have been confirmed? Tracking Trump's cabinet. That doesn't really tell me how they're confirmed. I hate the internet sometimes. I really do. Wow. King Trump is the number 2 search thing on Yahoo right now. Go figure. How are they confirmed? Well, maybe I should just use DuckDuckGo like I should have done to begin with. DuckDuckGo. How are cabinet members approved? All righty. This is AI generated Ballotopedia. I may have to stick with the AI. Here we go. This may or may not be useful, but I think it will be. The National Constitution Center. The Constitution and the Cabinet nomination process. Let's look into that. Okay. So, Constitution, Article 2, Section 2 says the president shall nominate and by and with the advice and consent of the Senate shall appoint ambassadors, other public ministers and consuls, judges of the Supreme Court, and all other officers of the United States whose appointments are not herein otherwise provided for. The Appointments Clause allows the president to make nominations for appointed positions like cabinet officers, but the Senate controls the process, including the rules that allow a nomination vote to get to the full Senate floor. If the Senate isn't officially in session, the president does have the power to appoint officers directly using his recess appointments powers, but modern parliamentary techniques used in the Senate rarely allow an opportunity for such appointments. I know that there was discussion about that for some of Trump's appointments. There's little doubt that the direct nomination approval of cabinet officials falls under the Appointments Clause while the Senate is in session. In the first Congress, President George Washington nominated Alexander Hamilton, who was not given up his shot, John Jay, and Henry Knox to his first cabinet, and the Senate approved the nominations by a simple majority vote. Since then, the Senate has been the gatekeeper of cabinet approvals, not to be confused with the keymaster. The Senate website has a detailed history of the various nomination processes since 1789. It was Washington who established the precedent that the president would inform the Senate of his choices after he made them and not officially ask for consent prior to the nominations. Let's skip a little bit ahead. The first high-profile cabinet rejection by the Senate was in 1834, when President Andrew Jackson lost the fight to get Attorney General Roger Taney named as Treasury Secretary in the bitter contest over the Second Bank of the United States. The Senate rejected Taney's nomination by an 18-28 vote, but a determined Jackson was able to get Taney appointed as the Supreme Court's Chief Justice in 1835, when his Democratic Party had a slim Senate majority. Since Taney's rejection, it has been a rare occasion for cabinet officers to have their nominations rejected in a full Senate vote. Senate records show that only 9 cabinet nominees have been rejected once their nomination made it to a full floor vote. So they don't really talk about it here, but there's a committee. And if you get past the committee, then they have some kind of vote, and then they have the actual vote or something like that. I was hoping that this would discuss that, but why should we know how our government runs? It's not important. The last major cabinet rejection was related to John Tower in 1989. When did this come out? This was written in 2017. So Tower had headed the Senate Armed Services Committee until he retired in 1985. President George H.W. Bush had nominated Tower as defense secretary. The public debate over Tower's nomination included a lot of mudslinging. Tower lost the vote along party lines in the Democrat-controlled Senate. He was the only former Senate member rejected for a cabinet position by the Senate in its history. Dick Cheney. A good choice. Good choice, Senate. Good job. Dick Cheney was later approved in Tower's place. Another 12 cabinet nominations have been withdrawn during the process in the Senate or didn't proceed due to Senate inaction. Most recently, the nomination of Tom Daschle by President Barack Obama was withdrawn in February of 2009 for the position of Secretary of Health and Human Services. In all, there have been more than 500 cabinet nominations considered by the Senate since 1789. So the success rate of cabinet nominees in the Senate has been very high. Okay. That really didn't help us very much. It was a nice history lesson, but it doesn't really tell us how it works. This is the danger of being a blogger. Sometimes you just get mud in your eye. Center for Presidential Transition. Let's see. The U.S. process for confirming a cabinet takes longer than almost all other countries. Bada boom. According to this, South Korea has the topic on what? That's okay. This is craziness. Okay, so with the when was this written? It doesn't say. It's none of my damn business when this. Oh, here it is, May 5 of 2021. Besides having more positions requiring political appointments, the slow confirmation process is largely explained by the fact that the U.S. has a presidential form of government. The Constitution defines this form of governing as having an executive who serves as the head of the government. Duh. We didn't know that. Filling a cabinet is critical for any new administration. The length of the confirmation process has varied. While the Senate took 61 days to confirm Biden's cabinet, Presidents Donald Trump and Barack Obama had all of their cabinet secretaries confirmed in 97 to 98 days, respectively. President George W. Bush's full cabinet was confirmed in 12 days. President Bill Clinton's in 50. Blah, 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 blah. According to David Lewis, a political scientist at Vanderbilt University, the U.S. has far more political appointees than any other developed country. Now, here's my question. One, why won't they just tell us how it works? But two, there's over 400 different departments anymore. In all of history, there's only been 500 cabinet positions. What are all these other departments? And why is it such a bad thing that we're closing some of them down? All right. I don't know how helpful that was. Hopefully it was mildly entertaining. Let's get caught up in the chat. And then I will share one or a few things of pointless partisan things I've discovered on Twitter. And then I'll call it a stream. Enigma Severus. Wish I could agree. It would be much more fun, but I remain in my position. Charlotte. Absurd. You're lovely, Curtis. I'm sure you were a great father. I hope so. I hope I was. I love my son. Curtis, tell me good thing you have a dog to not be fully depressed in life all the time. Agreed. Cassie's a godsend. Charlotte is just being sarcastic. It's all good. Gorillas, aren't they chosen by who is the better ass kisser? I think that is a part of it. Like I say, I'm going to be very inauspicious here, but I think that the president sends the appointment. The appointment is debated in committee, and that's what the article is not talking about. There's people that don't make it past the committee. And then they have this cloture vote, but I can never keep straight what the cloture vote is all about. And then they have the actual vote, or maybe I have it backward. But it's a big, dilapidated process. It almost makes parliamentarianism look good. Charlotte, I thought you said GOP, gorilla. People saying hi to each other. Charlotte, ducks. Who said ducks? Quack. Enigma Severus, oh, Yahoo. Ha ha ha, not Yahoo. People are laughing. They're laughing at me. Duck, duck, goose. I love that game. Try typing in God, Emperor, Trump. See what comes up. Maybe later. Maybe later. No, I was told about specific Google searches. I ended up 3 miles from home with only a box. Cover me up. John Potterero. Hello, must be going. Just got done with work and have to go set up for the Crucillo this weekend. I'll catch the rerun. Have a good one, everyone, buddy. Darkwoods presents Hail and Well Met. And Darkwoods, you are correct, actually. Elon is not officially a cabinet member. So on one level, I kind of get the controversy, but on the other hand, I kind of don't. Because Long and the short, something needs to be done about all the fraud. Maybe the other side's right and the Doge things is a bad idea. I disagree with that. I think it is a good idea, but maybe I'm the one that's wrong. But I just wonder, why weren't inspector generals doing this work? I don't know. Charlotte Nightstar, Andrew Jackson, probably angry in his grave if he saw his party in the corrupted shape it is in today. He was the father of the Democratic Party. I know a good friend of mine that's his favorite president. And he's a very intelligent, well-informed guy. You are right. Elon is president. Yes. Also known as AJ. I'm not sure I get that one. Also known as AJ. Oh, Andrew Jackson. Duh. Darkwoods, he's like a government special agent appointed by the president to run Doge. Exactly correct. And Darkwoods, I agree with you on this one 100%. He is doing a really good job. Like I say, I'm just doing this stream out of transparency. Essentially, I wanted to share that there are people who are concerned that maybe Elon does not understand the COBOL programming that causes a Social Security program to look like it has 150-year-old people. Darkwoods, favorite cabinet member is Bobby Kennedy. Honestly, mine too. I was going to vote for him until he threw his support behind Trump. I can't wait to see what he's going to do. Neither can I. Gorilla Central Thoughts, give it 6 months. We will be down to 12 departments. Well, honestly, hell, I mean, I wouldn't turn my nose up at it if we got down to something like 20 or 30 anyway. But I'll honestly be ecstatically happy if we get down to 100. Just saying. Charlotte, see y'all's later. Much love and peace. Bigger hugs. Bigger hugs. Bigger hugs. Bigger hugs. Bigger hugs. Charlotte, no, not sarcastic about you being a good father. That's all truth. I believe you were. I hope I was. I loved being a father. I hated being a husband, but I loved being a father. And we have Brett Boyle here of Canada. Welcome, welcome. Americans with their constant views inward on themselves are going to be being given a hard dose of reality very soon. Pissing off Canadians and threatening our sovereignty was not a good idea. Yeah, I talked a little bit about that yesterday. I understand what you're saying there. I do. Gorilla Censored Thoughts. I have seen the Democrats this upset since they had to get rid of their slaves. Brett Boyle, Americans are absolutely clueless when it comes to Canada. Y'all going to find the crap out, enjoy paying way more for your goods and being ostracized. I think I bookmarked it. I know PvP had sent me several videos that I watched about Canadian politics. There's actually a lot of very positive things happening there, and I'm hoping that Trump doesn't screw up. I would love to see you guys get a good prime minister after the freaking blankety blank that you guys have had recently. Gorilla Cinch Thoughts. Brett, what you guys going to do? Throw maple syrup on us? We're just joking. Whiskey Flats of the Garden Railroad made it to OKC. Woo! Darkwoods. Doge is just like bringing up things that are part of probably later investigation. I hope they put these fraudulent people in jail and seize their assets. Resolute Germ, hello. Another wonderful content creator here. And, you know, I haven't been really promoting people here. Darkwoods Presents is also a great creator. He's also an author of books, so check him out both on Amazon and on YouTube. Let's see. I can't remember Brett Boyle. Please forgive me. The chronic fatigue is a real thing. I can't remember if you create content or not. But if you do, please let us know, and hopefully people will go and check you out. Charlotte Nightstar, wonderful creator, has wonderful music and interviews watch parties. And I think I talked about Enigma Severus, who does movie reviews, tribute videos, and he also has a channel where he teaches you Spanish. So please check him out. And obviously, Gorilla Censored Thoughts, who helped make my intro. So, all right, I think I've got everybody here. Dark Woods. And Resolute Germ. Check him out. He also does a lot of watch parties. I need to check out his content myself, to be blunt, a little more than I do. I know he does some great cartoons on Saturday mornings, so check him out. Dark Woods is feeling frisky. We're not afraid of Canadians, according to him. We're basically your military. We run your missile defense. We practically subsidize you. Great. We're going to have an argument going on before too long. Fortunately, I'm almost done. Brett Boyle. Paul Revere sucks as much as Trudeau. Well, I don't know enough about him. I liked what I saw in a few videos, but let's face it, a few videos is not an education. Flip-flopping between red and blue is a similar problem both the U.S. and the Canada people have. Hashtag people are dumb. I know you have your own channel, but I just couldn't remember if you did creating. Let me go to YouTube and check your channel out real fast. While I'm here checking out the poll, so far 38%, their favorite Trump pick for quote unquote cabinet is Elon Musk. 23% tie RFK and Rubio. And Tulsi Gabbard, my favorite myself, is dead last at 15%. So let me see. Brett Boyle. Go to the channel. Here we go. Yeah, you have some stuff. This channel is at times set to be either 18 plus, either by myself or by YouTube. Very good. He has a few videos on here. Don't like fakes, don't like liars, quick coffee chat. He has some stuff here. So please check out Brett Boyle of Canada, also known as Frosty Broccoli. I was thinking you did, but I could not remember. Gorilla Censored Thought. Only Spanish I need to know is La Migra. Let's see. Resolute Germ is saying hi. Yeah, people picking a fight with each other. Okay, I'm going to not feel the flames on that. But I am going to look up pointless and likely partisan things that Curtis has enjoyed on Twitter. All right, first off, let me see here. Goodness gracious. Okay. Bookmarks. Need the bookmarks. I got to be careful. I just, in full disclosure, I did bookmark one thing that is a little bit risque, so I'd better not show it. I'm just going to tell you it's a bunch of topless women that Ivanka Trump is sharing, saying, what do you have to say about this? And it's a big protest in Europe. Stop the war on women, which, if you think there's a war on women, maybe it's a good idea to stop that. And if you don't, then you probably think it's just a bunch of silly ladies running around with no tops. All right, let's go crazy. Man, I bookmarked a lot of crap. So here we go. I shall start with this. And hopefully I'm smart enough not to show you all the topless women. I promise I bookmarked them for the articles. All right, before I get too much further, let me see. Gorilla Censored Thoughts 100% supports the Free the Nip movement. Darkwoods presents The War on Women is a feminist propaganda campaign on men. Resolute Germ, and I did. I have I finished the short story you did about the feminist. I don't think I have. I need to pick that back up and finish it. Resolute Germ, the sort of behavior is why I think women shouldn't vote. I'm not going to go that far, but let's just say sometimes I feel, and that may make me bad. Okay, I need to get this done. Here we go. This isn't really partisan. This is just a cute little lamb. Hello, world. 15 minutes old. This here. Ups the tree. As a combat role. He watches, makes sure his master gets by. Sneaks up on the tree, does another combat roll. And gets the tree. Doo-doo. Okay, Fletcher Williams. So hear me out. The American Triangle. I love Fletcher Williams. Gorilla Censored Thoughts shared this one. This is James Carville.
Now, if we ran a presidential election, if we were playing a Super Bowl, we started our 7th string quarterback. That's what happened. Okay, you can't address a problem unless you're honest about a problem. And none of this was inevitable. Now, if you were to put the staggering talent that exists in today's Democratic Party. You heard what I said? The staggering talent that exists in today's Democratic Party. And people would have seen that. They'd have gone, I didn't know they had people like that can actually complete a sentence. Okay, that actually can know how to frame a message, that actually have a sense of accomplishment of doing something. If we would have excited people, and we would have had people from the middle of the country, we would have had people from the coast, we'd have been diverse, and then when you do that, that's how people get involved in politics. We have not had an inspirational presidential candidate since 2012.
Okay, what do you guys think about this? I know Gorilla's Censored Thoughts was saying on X, this is why the Dems focus on race. They ignore the fact they had a crap candidate. People were not happy with the Biden administration because she was the vice president of. So what do you guys think about that? I know James Carville was another one of those people that Rush Limbaugh used to just lambast. Elon Musk. It's a word, YouTube. Deal with it. Suicidal empathy, as some would say. This is a quote of Friedrich Nietzsche's Beyond Good and Evil. This guy is calling it toxic empathy. There is a point in the history of society when it becomes so pathologically soft and tender that, among other things, it sides even with those who harm it, criminals. It does this quite seriously and honestly. Punishing somehow seems unfair to it, and it is certain that imagining punishment and being supposed to punish hurts it, arouses fear in it. Is it not enough to render him undangerous? Why still punish? Punishing itself is terrible. With this question, herd morality, the morality of timidity, draws its ultimate consequence. And I wonder what you guys think about that. Gorilla Censored Thoughts. Well, look at what the lady said that I responded to. Oh, what did she say? Oh, yeah, I woke up and thought I was going to have a peaceful Sunday. Then I saw this BS. James Carville comparing Kamala Harris to a 7th string quarterback. I'm so sick of white Democrats blaming Kamala Harris for the loss. Yeah, I said white Dems, not all, but too many. Blame the black woman, but continue to ignore the fact The white women voters continue to be the problem. If we had won, Carville would be praising her. Fricking jerk. I do agree that he's a freaking jerk, but yeah, I disagree with her point, and his point is what it is. Darkwoods feminists are mad about women not getting 50-50 in a divorce settlement, that permanent alimony is gone, and the changes in child support. That's what they call a war on women. And if there's any women who want to debate that, that's fine, although we're going to be done here in about 10 or 20 minutes. Snortipupus Cuber, I'm posting a booby pic for your enjoyment. So hopefully I'm not stupid enough to actually show the real booby pic, but here is the bird that is known as a booby. Elon Musk, 100%. This is Milton Friedman, the economist, not to be confused with Robert G. Reich, who is not an economist, but plays one on TV. One of the great mistakes is to judge policies and programs by their intentions rather than their results. Critically thinking and drinking, ask Grok to draw you as a snowman and share the image. Here it is. I love this one.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
The cat scared by the emu.
Can't touch this.
All right. Elon Musk, Adam Schiff is trying to access or Elon Musk is trying to access your personal bank and tax data. The world's richest man should not and cannot be able to snoop around your personal finances, period. End of story. Chaotic Good replies, he's not trying to snoop around my personal finances. He's trying to snoop around yours because you get paid with taxpayer money and should be subjected to these types of audits on a regular basis to flesh out obvious conflicts of interest. Here we have a senior golden retriever. He comes running for his favorite treat. Poor dog, but he gets his favorite treat. Happy senior golden retriever. This is the face of a 192-year-old tortoise, the oldest known living land animal. So I think I get these pictures all the time, but I just can't help it. It just makes me so happy that turtle is still alive. Scott Adams, who is the canceled author and artist for Dilbert, no longer gets to draw much of anywhere else, so he went to Twitter after Elon Musk bought it. He says he does the same thing. Dad sleeps downstairs on the sofa bed with his elderly dog to keep him company since the dog can't get up the stairs anymore. I don't know if any of you know what Tom Hanks did. If we want to, we can talk a little bit about it later, but Randy Quaid, Tom Hanks, you're going viral for using comedy as a weapon to maliciously slander good people who support our president. You need to pull your head out of Kamala's butt and take a hard look at your business manager, Warren Grant. Cher caught him red-handed stealing her money, and I caught him helping Bruce Berman steal from me. He's a thief. Please stop making yourself a propaganda tool. No one is laughing. I love Tom Hanks acting, but I was disappointed to see him do that skit on Saturday Night Live. Not saying we should cancel him. I will probably continue to watch his movies and enjoy them, but I was still very disappointed. Guess what? We now have thousands of newly fired, unskilled federal employees to take over the jobs that deported illegals leave behind. More winning. Can't touch this. Darkwoods presents that tortoise is still younger than some people on the Social Security rolls. Gorilla Censored Thoughts. Maybe that tortoise is one of the old recipients. Yes. Gina Carano. If you know who she is, she was the person that Disney fired for speaking her politics, but then they don't care about anyone else speaking their politics. She says, I've never even spoken to Mr. Musk. This kindness he has done me and many others, I feel is something you only see in the movies. Keep the story alive of the unfair way that Disney treated Gina. Let's see what she says here. If I can get it to turn on.
He's helping me make an example out of them.
Let me know if you can hear it.
Discriminated against, shamed and fired from one of the most powerful entertainment companies in the world. They fired me at the height of my career, and I went out to, I know, Disney. They deserve that. Thank you. Thank you. You guys have been paying attention to my story. I appreciate that.
And here's the deal. I would actually be okay with her being fired if anyone on the left was fired when they spoke up. Even a freaking key grip. Just throw us a bone. But there's no fairness to it. And that's why I feel Elon Musk and Gina are doing the right thing. I get, yeah, it's part of her contract. But when you're only enforcing it one way, to me, that is a violation of, I'm having a senior moment, but that spiffy law that says you can't discriminate in the employment place.
I mean, they've gone out of the way to make an example out of me, but I think by the grace of God, he's helping me make an example out of them.
I think she looks pretty good with her hair long. Whiskey Flats, who is actually the only person in the chat who truly, actually, personally knows me. You absolutely are, great father. Missed it. Who was the racist blaming the white Dems? Well, that was the booby. No. Lana Quest, aka Rosa Sparks, on Twitter. I have no idea if that is an important person or not. A wild fox discovered in a fisherman's bag after eating all the fish. I can't help it. It's just a gorgeous fox. Foxy lady. Actually, I have no idea if it's male or female. The Kiffness. If you're ever feeling useless, just remember that my sunglasses came all the way to Scotland for no reason. Gina Carino. My face when people say RFK Jr. is anti-science, but trusted Fauci who needed a pardon for his science. This video of this deer is the most magical thing that this creator had ever seen. I do think it's a beautiful video. Run, Bambi, run. Elon Musk. The more I've gotten to know President Trump, the more I like the guy. Frankly, I love him. Inevitable West. This is talking about J.D. Vance's speech, which I probably need to make a note to put that on tomorrow's poll. Rating homes over insults online is Orwellian, and everyone in Europe and the U.S. must reject this lunacy. Elon Musk, they grow up so fast. Congratulations on Doge on 4.2 million followers. I'd like to remind people, you want to accuse him of not being transparent. It's all right here. Just follow the Department of Government Efficiency. It's all tweeted right there. It's been called the Gulf of Mexico for centuries. Cool story, bro. Now do genders. We've already looked at this one. The vampires collecting Social Security. Mexico President Claudia Sheinbaum is suing Google for renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. This is how you fight back. Do you stand with her? Declaration of memes. Remember, no one can prove you weren't a regional manager for Radio Shack or Toys R Us. This is horrible, and the UK is cooked. Let's listen to this.
By the way,
This is a unpaid volunteer officer, but from the look of it, she has a uniform. Looks to me like she's got the authority to either arrest you or call somebody and have you arrested. Let's hear what she says.
How to do anywhere?
no, miss, you're not allowed to sing church songs outside of church grounds. By the way,
You're not allowed to sing church songs outside of.
outside the church or church songs or church
You're not allowed
grounds. That's fine. That's
You're not
fine.
allowed. She just said you're not allowed to sing church songs outside of church.
Our church outside the church grounds, unless you have unless
That's
you've
a load
been
of rubbish.
authorized by the
You're
church to
allowed.
do this kind of song.
Are you saying that you don't care about the Human Rights Act? You're lost. Religion. You don't care about the human.
And then they're quoting Article 9 of something. I'm assuming some British law. The right to freedom of religion and belief is one of the rights protected by the human rights thing. Elon Musk sharing the Doge clock back when they had saved $109 billion. I want to say they saved a fair amount while we were all talking yesterday. Henry, the oldest Nile crocodile, is 124 years old, a little over 5 meters long, father of over 10,000 crocs. He was captured in 1903, is still active, strong, and healthy. I just thought this was a beautiful photo. The giraffe looking like it's kissing their child. We already looked at that. I love this. The cow on the monitor and the cat looking out from behind. I haven't listened to this, so let's see what this is.
Congressman, hold on. I want to go to this question because, again, it's not a question of whether waste should be rooted out of the government. So many people agree with that. But now we're seeing it's the way it's being done. The government is trying to claw back several employees who oversaw nuclear weapons after they were fired. They realized, oh, we made a mistake. We need these staffers who oversee nuclear weapons. A professor at the University of Maryland, Don Kettle, who specializes in civil service, told the Washington Post that, yes, the government is likely full of wasteful bloat, but said a clumsy fix is worse than no fix at all, saying it's like going to a meat market, getting a piece of steak and trying to cut out the fat with a sledgehammer. That would only make a mess of the meat. Do you think, Congressman, that is a fair point, that the way this is being done is clumsy rather than methodical?
What do you guys think about that? Is the Doge efforts clumsy rather than methodical? Dark Woods is quoting that 60.5% of homeless individuals are men, 49% identify as white. That's crazy. That is crazy. There's approximately 36 million deer in the United States, and they are all tasty. No wonder Vance said they don't have freedom of speech or freedom of religion. And great minds think alike. They call that tenderizing. Right on.
Again, you're upset about you're attacking the message carrier, not the results. You talk about nuclear secrets. You had a person who was in charge of nuclear secrets, a man who dressed up as a woman, would go into the airport and steal women's luggage, was overseeing those nuclear secrets under the Biden administration. And I never heard y'all say a peep about that. Again, man,
I don't know anything about that. I'll be transparent.
Elon Musk, you need to look it up. It's all over the internet. It's all over. He was uncharged.
But the question is, this is unrelated to the people overseeing nuclear weapons being fired. And Elon Musk himself said, we're moving so fast, of course there will be mistakes. The question is, some of these mistakes are really high stakes. Accidentally firing people overseeing nuclear weapons. Do you see that point?
humans will make mistakes, man, but currently these are bloated programs. You have no-show employees that are angry that they're having to go back to work, that they've moved, and they're not
No
even
one's
in the
disagreeing.
districts of
There's
where
bloat
their
and
original
waste.
jobs were.
So what do you guys think about that? Is she making a point or is she just irritating? Gorilla Sensor Thoughts. I use a sledgehammer to tenderize the meat to change the texture and make it better. That sounds tasty. And Brett Boyle, it's cute when snowflakes have to block people that don't agree with them and put it in their face. The U.S. and no world except your own are the proverbial good guys, right? I get how you feel on that. Darkwood, she's just irritated. Right on, right on.
No one's disagreeing
Well,
with
then
that.
why are y'all not exposing it? Have y'all even talked about, hey, Mozambique, we sent them $10 million for circumcisions? Okay. I mean, goodness gracious, ma'am. Americans are paying
We've been covering at length
salaries
where the money is going to.
No, you haven't. You all y'all do is run down Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and you continuously do this, and that's why your ratings are in the tank, ma'am. All
right, Congressman Tim Burchett, we're going to leave it there. I do appreciate your time coming on and having this conversation. Thank you very much. Coming up.
All right. And I'm going to play one more and then we'll call it a stream, although that's pretty nice. Elon Musk. Oh, wow. She says she calls Tom Hanks a very not nice thing, which may or may not be justified. Not all MAGA hat wearing patriots are white. In fact, most racism comes from the elite Democrats, you a-hole. I don't even know who. Oh, Jeanette Garcia. So, and how long is this? Okay, this will be the last thing, and then I'll call it a stream. Did you know that Clinton and Gore were the original Doges? They cut the federal workforce by 377,000 plus employees using buyouts and early retirements. During Bill Clinton's presidency, the federal workforce was reduced by 377,000 plus employees, the biggest cut since World War II. This was part of the National Partnership for Reinventing Government, led by Al Gore, which aimed to streamline operations, cut costs, and improve efficiency. The initiative, originally called the National Performance Review, does anybody remember that? I do, targeted 426,200 positions using buyouts, early retirements, and restructuring to shrink bureaucracy. By 2000, the federal workforce was at its smallest size in 40 years, with savings reinvested into public services. Question then being, was it bad for them to do it? Or is it okay that Trump is doing it? Well, it's because of the way they do it. Well, the Republicans said the same thing about I remember that. I remember Rush Limbaugh hopping mad about some of the military cuts that Clinton did. But I think if we're going to be intellectually honest, it's the same thing. They may not have done it as precipitately. They may have included Congress more, but it's still the same principle. So either Clinton and Al Gore were doing a good thing and Doge is doing a good thing, or of course Doge is doing a bad thing, but so did Clinton and Al Gore when they did it. All right, I am going to call it a stream. I'm going to try to remember where I left off. So anyone that wants to, please go to Connie Cleary's watch party. They had a few Democratic presidents, control of Congress, FGS. They could have done this already. Yeah, they could have. Democrats were mad they lost their slaves. They're full tantrum mode, and there are going to be some cuts in the military, but not on the lower parts of the branches. Right. All right, let's call it a stream. That soft Crone music. There's a woman that I wish was here right now. Actually, there's several women that I wish were here right now, but that's neither here nor there. Let's thank everybody for coming along. We have Gorilla Sensor Thoughts. Please check out his channel, and thank you for coming and blacking out and losing a day. Jeff B, thank you very much. You check out this gentleman's content, and thank you for coming and for the kind comment. Connie Cleary, thank you for the kind comment, for your moderation, for your advice, and thank you for the movie that I'm going to be watching here in about 20 minutes. And it's going to be right here in the Cosme room. Before I forget, looks like Elon Musk is everybody's favorite. Tomorrow's stream is going to be about the hypocrisy of Elizabeth Warren. Woohoo! Whiskey Flats of Garden Railroad, my personal friend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, and also my newest members to my Patreon are these folks, fine folks right here. If I was smart, I would leave that. Sorcerer Dan, howdy howdy. Thank you for the kind comment, and check this gentleman's content out. He also is a content creator. Enigma Severus, thank you for your kind comments and for all the advice and inspiration. Check out this gentleman's content. He makes lots of movie reviews. He makes tribute videos, and he has a channel teaching you Spanish. While I'm at it, I keep forgetting that my friend Whiskey Flats has a video or two on his channel. So please check that gentleman out and learn a little bit about model trains. There's a long black train coming down the line, feeding off the souls that are lost in pride. Hail Charlotte Night Star, the werewolf. Oh! Check this little wonderful lady out. She makes beautiful music. She does interviews, and she has watch parties, largely of David Lynch films and shows. I believe she's going to start playing Twin Peaks. And sometimes I will guest star on her show whenever work allows. Check out Fletcher Williams at Second Games. Wonderful gentleman here. One of the things that drew me back over to Trump, there's a lot of blacks and Hispanics that have become Trump supporters. So, wonderful gentleman here. He's made some of my better thumbnails. Check him out. I don't know what he charges for thumbnails now, but if you need some, he was very reasonably priced and did an incredible job. All right, I know there's at least one more person, if not two. John Ponderero, he's practicing for Cursillo this weekend. Wonderful human being. Thank you for your kindness, your support. This gentleman should be a content creator. He's a great guitar player. So maybe check him out if he's got anything. I don't know if he has anything that isn't private right now. He's kind of shy. And that's all good. And then we have Brett Boyle of Canada. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the comments. And I am sorry for some of the things that Trump has said. Like I say, we talked about it a little bit on yesterday's stream. Resolute Germ, yet another wonderful content creator, as is Brett Boyle. Go check out his content. I know he does Saturday morning cartoons, and they are spiffy. Have I missed anybody? Doobie doobie Scooby Doo. I'm not really sure what movie she's playing tonight. Let's see, it's Wednesday, so it's probably a comedy. And think about giving me a couple of bucks if you like my content and don't think I'm too irritating. Kapla, Martin Malikov at the Hellhole Parapente. See y'all tomorrow, and I glory to you and your house. Drop me a link to Whiskey Flats. Let's so do. Whiskey Flats, Whiskey Flats. He is the Whiskey Flats. Where are you at, Whiskey Flats? YouTube is being strange to me. I don't know why. Well, I can find him in StreamYard, but I can't find him on YouTube. So let's see if I can find him this way. Whiskey Flats. Whiskey, you're going to have to make more content. I can't find you when I search for you. Anyway, if you hear this, Whiskey Flats, maybe put in a chat or something so that I can share your stream out to the people. Oh, Gorillas did it. Ha! Ha ha! Thank you, Gorilla. Yay! Kapla. See how long it takes him to realize the next comment is in the link. Yeah, it took me a bit. Sorry. Well, it's been said that life is pain, and anyone telling you otherwise is trying to sell you something. And it's true. I am trying to sell you something. I'm trying to sell you on the idea that you are smart enough and capable enough to run your own life. You don't need big government or big corporations to tell you how to do it. And lastly of all, I would like you to know you're not going insane. You're going sane in a world gone mad. Gorilla Censored Thought says that life's a dick. So fuck it. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Hopefully I see a few of you over at Connie's here in about 17 minutes. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening. Tomorrow we will discuss the hypocrisy of Senator Elizabeth Warren. Huzzah!